Yeah, look at my apron on backwards. And why would I bring that to y'all's attention? You might as well laugh at it because, baby, I'm towards the end of the road. I'm not about to change it, but I just wanted to show you. This is the white cooking wine. I'm just putting a little in my hand so I can taste it. Woo, that thing got some bite to it. Okay, so here is our rice. I want to show y'all the basic ingredients I plan on using. Now, in this recipe demonstration, you'll get to see me kind of put things together or create a recipe if you would. You will get to see me create a recipe in this video, and it is going to be for shrimp egg rolls. So I'm just showing you everything I have here. I've already prepped the red onion, fresh green onion, and orange peppers. I'm using orange because that's what I had in my refrigerator. So all of the veggies, of course, will be used. If you know me, you know I cook with veggies. These are the salad style shrimp. I decided to try these because these salad shrimp are very flavorful. They just really have a shrimpy flavor. In the past, I've used like jumbo shrimp and cut them up to make them a bit more bite-sized. This time I'm going to try this to see what it's like having a couple of whole shrimps in each bite. And like I stated, these are salad shrimp, but they give off so much more of a shrimpy flavor. I've towel blotted them just a bit, but since we will be mixing them in with rice, then I know the rice is going to absorb some of the flavor from the shrimp, which is what I want. And I'm just letting you know what that package looks like. Kroger had these salad shrimp on sale this week, which is what gave me the idea. And then these are the basic seasonings that I'm considering, okay? We're definitely going to go in with cayenne, parsley, smoked paprika, marinated roasted garlic, and a little, I have Italian cheese. I may end up using more. I wanted to go with a shrimp etouffee style egg roll. That's what I've done in the past. But you're going to see some common ingredients like the rotel tomatoes we normally have in shrimp etouffee. I am going to add some julienne cut sun-dried tomatoes for sure. And then I think to bring everything together just as a binder of all the ingredients, instead of using cream or cream of soup, I'm going to go in with a little Philadelphia cream cheese. I want something to bind the ingredients together, but I basically want the shrimp to stand out. I don't want anything to overpower the shrimp. So I may not even use this whole can of rotel tomato. Okay, so again, you're about to see me create a recipe in real time. Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to Kisha's Crumbs. So I just wanted to come on and let y'all know we're about to get this shrimp egg roll party started in real time, okay? Really quickly, I'm going to be moving fast as I explain what I'm doing, because as I stated, you're going to see me create a recipe. Right now, I just have an idea in my mind of the flavors I want, the texture I want to see when I open the egg roll. It is going to be a shrimp egg roll made with rice. And so what we're going to do is start out with creating our sauce. The first thing first, let's go ahead and saute these vegetables. We're going to go in with some oil. Turn our pan on pretty high heat. We want a good bit of oil. The reason why I'm using a good bit of oil, enough to cover the bottom of the pan, is because this is all of the oil that I'll be using in this sauce. I may add just a bit of butter for flavor, but we want to saute our vegetables in oil. When sauteing, you always want to go in with your onions first. Like I said, I'm going to be moving really quickly. Normally, I wait until my pan heat up, but it's okay. The onions will cry when it fries. The onions will cry when it fries, y'all. So there we go. We're going to let those get started. Heat up. This is the roasted garlic. And I just kind of want to cook them up a little. Let's run the knife through our garlic first. And then once we run the knife through the garlic really roughly, I'm gonna go through and smash them with a fork. I don't mind big pieces of garlic, but some people do. I could eat garlic all day long. But for the sake of making it palatable for everybody, y'all, we're going to rough them up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my fork and smash them. Okay, so this is just to help them disintegrate as they're in the sauce. I really want the ingredients in this egg roll to have in-depth flavor because we're not using a lot of different ingredients. So there you go. We got our garlic all smashed up. That's going to help flavor the rice and help bring everything together because the garlic is roasted. And then while we're here, I just wanted to show you all the texture of the rice. It's a little sticky, like what you would see in sushi. So this is going to be helpful in terms of us rolling the egg rolls. Okay. Onions are cooking up beautifully. At this point, we'll go ahead and add our peppers. And I'm waiting to add the green onions for last because I want you to still be able to see them when they cook up. You know, they disintegrate pretty quickly. But see how beautiful that is? Remember, people eat with their eyes. And we say that like it's metaphorical, but it's really true. It's true because when you see colors, your brain already starts to anticipate the flavor, just like you're looking at this. And I want that parsley flavor to cook in. I'm going to add a little earthiness, so I'm going to go ahead and add the parsley in now. And adding the dried herb in with the oil is going to really help that flavor blossom. You can see I didn't cut these up very small, so we're going to want to cook them so they can soften a bit for our egg rolls. Okay, now another thing we're going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and add in a half a stick of butter. And the reason I'm doing it now is because this butter, the cream in the butter is going to help soften the vegetables like we like. And remember, the butter is going to help flavor the sauce. Okay, we started out with the oil, and now we're adding a half a stick of butter. This is what's going to bring our vegetables on home. Okay, and then you can see over here, cut up some sun-dried julienne, sun-dried tomatoes. So let me show you what they look like. Julienne means they're already cut in like little small strips. Okay, let's go ahead and add in our green onions. And then see, we add our garlic last, y'all, because garlic will burn. So when you're sauteing vegetables, always add your garlic last so that it won't burn. We want these vegetables tender. I started out on high heat. I've even since turned the heat down a bit. And just think about how delicious and flavorful the oil and the butter is in here. And that's what you do when you use seasonings with your vegetables or seasoning. If you've been on Kisha's Crumbs, you hear me say that all the time. So these vegetables are seasoning this oil. And then the oil is what we're going to make the sauce with. So the flavor from this base is going to flavor the entire pan of sauce. Too wet because we want to be able to cut them, slice them, and they stay together. So we're going to have some sauce in them, some moisture, but the rice is going to hold everything down, hold it together where it doesn't run all over the place. And then that's why we're also using cream cheese for body. So that probably was about 8 strips of julienne sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, y'all. Now we're going in with the garlic. And you know this is a beautiful, I want to call it a mirepoix. We don't have celery, but we have orange bell pepper. We have from the garden green onion that my loctician gave me, as well as store-bought green onion. We have diced red onion, roasted garlic, dried parsley, butter, and oil. So see, now nothing's gonna have a crunch. It might have a bite, but it won't have a crunch. Okay, we need it cleaned up. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so at this point I've moved our vegetables from the fire. I'll show it to you again in just a second. So now we're gonna go in with the Philadelphia cream cheese. I was thinking a half a stick. But we may do the whole stick. Let's see. It's just the oil from our sun-dried tomatoes. We are not cross-contaminated. Nothing has been on the board but veggies. Garlic, pepper, onions. Now this really is so soft that I don't have to cut it up. My intention was to kind of put it in blocks, but we're still gonna cut it just a bit so it can melt easily as we introduce it into our vegetables. So let's just get us some slices going like that. And then we're just gonna plop them in. You see it's still separating, even though it's softened. Still trying to come together, still separating. So now at this point, we're about at half of the box of Philadelphia cream cheese. And as you can see, I think you would agree, it wouldn't hurt us to have the entire block because we have to add rice and all that good jazz. Okay, so I'm gonna get the rest of this cut up for you. And I'm just gonna start mixing it together while it's in this warm pan. Remember, we had cut our fire off. We don't want the cream cheese to clump up. So now we're mixing it in with our vegetables, our oil, our butter, our delicious seasonings. The cream cheese has salt in it. The butter has salt in it. So we do not add any salt at this point. We're gonna wait until we get our rice. And we're gonna go ahead and add in some of the rotel tomatoes. So as you can see here, this cream cheese is being used to give it body. Bring everything together. Drain the rotel because I don't want it soggy. Like I said, I want the inside of the egg roll to be moist but not juicy. So this is coming out perfect. Okay, y'all, so this is what it's looking like as everything has warmed through. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the rice. Let's do about 3/4 of it. Remember, my shrimp were cooked. If my shrimp weren't cooked, I would have gone in at the end of my vegetable saute with them, or I would have gone in at the end of my vegetable saute, or put them in before the cream cheese. But the shrimp are already fully cooked. Okay, so there's our rice. Now before we introduce the shrimp, what we're going to do is we are going to, okay, y'all can see better right there. Before we introduce the shrimp, we're going to taste everything for seasoning, okay? Let's pull it up a little more. We want to season the rice. We don't want the shrimp to cook as we're stirring through it, trying to season it. So we're definitely going to go in with some Old Bay. We're going to use Old Bay as our salt of choice because we wanted to have a spice to it, but we're also using the rice. It's almost going to be like a Cajun sushi. If you've ever seen a cooked variety of sushi, I'm going to add just a little nutmeg for that. What is that? That thing they can't name? That's what the nutmeg is for. You got to put something in there they can't call it. They don't know what it is. And that's the one thing, ground white pepper. We barely ever use black pepper in this house. We like ground white pepper. I enjoy the taste of it more. I like that it doesn't look like specks of dirt in your food. And white pepper is easier to digest than ground black pepper. So there you are for your Kisha's Crumbs. The little granular bits of information that I tell you that will help you be more successful with any recipe. Oh yes. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, now the Cajun flavor is coming out. We'll add a little bit more because we know we have to introduce the shrimp. So we want enough to carry the shrimp. That was Old Bay. I still feel like I want to add jalapeno peppers, but for now we're gonna go in with some cayenne. I only have a few of these left, in which I'm so glad because the most recent, see how that's already diced like relish? That's perfect. Exactly what I needed. I'm using the same fork because I'm about to throw this jar away. When this is finished, yeah, we want these egg rolls to be spicy. Why not? Did y'all know a little spice increases your metabolism, helps your food digest faster? That's why you see so many mukbangers eating their food with pickled or fresh jalapeno. Okay, so I think this tastes great. I do want to loosen it up just a bit, and we are going to add cheese. Okay, before I add my cheese, I do want to add this paprika. Yeah, I didn't realize this is new, so I have to actually pop the top off of it. See here. Ooh, that was easy. Here we go. Boy, you should smell this paprika. It literally smells like smoked ribs. I'm glad I have this because that is going to bring my barbecue catering to life. As soon as I smell that paprika, it literally smells like barbecue. So I will be using that. This is my first time opening the can. Okay, so like I said, I'm thinking about loosening this up just a little bit, but see, I really could add just a little cream of soup and a little cheese, but I really don't want to put cream of soup in it. I really want it to be more rice. So what I'm gonna do, instead of putting the shrimp in first, I'm gonna go in with the cheese. Yeah, I have plenty of cheese outside. I'm just gonna use this because I don't want it to be too cheesy. I just want that surprise Ooh, there's a cheesy texture. There's maybe a cheese pull. Add some additional smoothness to it. But we don't want it to take over the flavor. Now, by me adding the cheese in first, excuse me for flicking cheese everywhere, I'm trying to break it down in my fingers. But by me adding this first, y'all, it cools the mixture down before I add the shrimp. I still have it on, just cut it off. But see how they just gave it a little surprise, a little lovingness in the texture by adding in that little bit of cheese. We still want the starters to show to be the shrimp. Okay, that's the point. There you go. And if you haven't learned how to cook and clean at the same time, get somebody that's going to benefit from the meal, get them to clean for you while you cook. Let me add some garlic powder. Remember, I've turned it off at this point because I think it could have used a little more garlic. Okay, it has the perfect amount of spice. The spice is hitting me at the back of my throat now. I'm going to leave the fire off because I want this to continue to cool down. I do not want my shrimp to cook at all, but I do want to mix them in. Let me get some water. I'm about to open a bottle of water. This is just to loosen it up a bit. Just to loosen the mixture up, so just a little bit, okay? Because it's a little tight. Just after I added that shredded cheese. So see how easy that is? See how it got looser? Again, these are the crumbs, y'all. These are the crumbs. So when you're cooking, it's tighter than you want it. Just add a little water. Matter of fact, I just looked over. Look at God. What I'm about to add next. Y'all, this says red cooking wine. But now that it's spring, you know, you use red cooking wine like with beef, lamb. I'm more interested in white cooking wine right now. I didn't change the label, but I changed what's in the bottle. Let me just taste it to make sure, remind myself of the profile. Yeah, look at my apron on backwards. And why would I bring that to y'all's attention? You might as well laugh at it because, baby, I'm towards the end of the road. I'm not about to change it, but I just wanted to show you. This is the white cooking wine. I'm just putting a little in my hand so I can taste it. Woo, that thing got some bite to it. Okay, I had to remind myself. Just a little douse. I had to remind myself of what it tasted like because you want to taste it before you put it in. Now, that's another thing that's going to make this so special. You have cooking wine. It really made the aroma. Yes. Now it tastes like, yes, it's a little more for grown folks. This is not gonna be a child's egg roll, y'all.
Pause. People ask me about recipes. People ask me how I'm able to accomplish certain flavors. This is the art behind cooking. This is the labor of love. It's just testing, it's tasting, it's layering.
Now we're going in with the shrimp.
And this is Kisha's Crumbs. I'm sharing the labor of love with you.
Going in with the shrimp. Yes, yes, yes. Now, depending on the overall eating experience, you know, I always talk about the eating experience. Depending on the overall eating experience you were going for, you could add spinach to this. If you look online, you'll see that most people create a cabbage variety. Here's our mix. I'm not going to add another thing more. The fire is cut off, so now all we have to do is wait on it to cool. Making sure you can see the mixture. Beautiful. We're waiting on it to cool. So many shrimp. So we can roll them. Y'all got all of the business. Okay, there it is right here. Stuffing for the shrimp. For me, is really giving cooked sushi. So then I'm going to show you how to roll them. And I'm even going to fry some up. Because we haven't had dinner. All right, y'all. Here is our mix. Let's get this party started. Here are the egg roll wrappers. What I did, remember these are really fragile because they're vegan. I take my kitchen shears and I open them all the way up. Okay, so that makes it easy for me to get one from the pile. And I'll sit these right here so you can see me grabbing them initially. A lot of people use egg wash, which works great. Water works just as well. So I'm being all fancy. I really like to just rub it with my finger the way you would dampen the envelope. But I have my brush here so y'all can see everything, hopefully. And I'm gonna roll about 3. But here's the water. Okay. Now, it's 2 ways to do it. You can do it starting it as a square, but the easiest way to me is to turn it on an angle. You don't want a lot of water. You go ahead and dampen all of your edges. Okay, and so I have it like a diamond. I didn't sit in front of me like a square like this. You see, I have it as a diamond. This is parchment paper. We'll go ahead and roll on top of something that is non-stick. And I've dampened my edges to begin with. And then I'm also going to dampen them again when I get ready to roll. So now, you know you have to fold in your corners. So do not overfill your egg roll. Okay. There we go. You'll see some people add extra cheese while they're rolling it. You can add anything you want. So you can see I'm leaving the same amount, that's about 2 inches or 1.75 inches on both sides. You know you got plenty of room here, but those corners have to be able to fold up. So when you're placing your filling, place the filling in the middle with the same amount available on both sides. Now, I like to take the end that's away from me first and bring it over the filling, right? And then I'm going to tuck it. That is shaping my egg roll. That's giving me the size of the egg roll right there. All I did was pull it from over here, brought it over, and then I'm going to tuck. I'm going to bring this corner in. And I'm going to bring this corner in. If you know how to gift wrap, you could definitely wrap an egg roll. And then I just put a little water right there. And see, that way, all I got to do is roll the egg roll on top of itself. Just like that. Easy peasy. I'm going to dampen them a little more. I normally use egg wash, but I just decided not to because the eggs are by now very expensive. Oh, God. Okay, so let's do another one. And if I need egg wash for these, I will. You can see you have to just peel them away from one another gently. And so that's the flour side. Put the flour side on the outside. Go ahead and dampen everything. And put your mixture in there evenly. Go ahead and put it in the roll how you know it needs to be by the time you get ready to roll it. See how I'm leaving the same amount on the ends again. Tuck them in. Take this part, roll it over. And just roll it on top of itself. Turn it at an angle like this. And I'm really putting a lot of stuffing in here, more than what I really like. Because when it comes to things like egg rolls, even sandwiches, I don't like for there to be so much meat and not a lot of everything else. I like for everything to kind of be balanced. So that's a good amount. Bring the ends in. Put a little flour. Yeah, they have more flour on them too. That's another reason why. They aren't rolling as easily, is what I recall, because they got a lot of flour. So I'm pressing and evening out my mixture, but also being careful not to tear them. Okay, and I'm just lining them up on the side. I'll make 2 more. I need to put this, and that's really too much filling. And see, and they really fry up better when they're frozen, but I'm gonna go ahead and show them to you. I'm gonna show them to you frying them room temp, or straight after rolling them, but ideally I like to freeze them first. See, this is enough filling right here, because as I roll them, bring this over, put water on this part. See, you need to turn that into adhesive, because this is what you're gonna turn this over on like this. And then I like to tuck on it, bring it back some. And do it like that. There you have it. Is the side that they're folded on, where the little seal is, fry it with this side down, because it will tend to try to open up. The oil could have standed to be a little hotter, but it's okay. The next tip is, when you put them in the pan, make sure they're not touching, because they will fry together. So that's why you don't need a heavy bottom pan. You just need, try to pick a pan with enough surface area, meaning it's wide enough. I could squeeze another egg roll in there, but since it's for demonstration purposes, I won't. You can see how quickly it starts to fry. You don't even have to use this much oil. If you put them in a lot of oil, they'll basically float, and you won't have to worry about one side getting browner than the other. But I don't like to just like deep fry them, but you can. That's the only thing. See how that side, that seam is somewhat opening up. If it were completely submerged in oil, that would have sealed. But that's the only one I have doing that, so it's fine. And because they are sitting on the surface of the heating element, they'll turn dark really quickly. They look practically raw here, and they are. But I'll show you what I mean. You're going to look for that color to change. And it's better for you to just go ahead and start rotating them like that early on, so they won't get too dark. Okay, their skin is going to tighten up. So there you go. It's better to go ahead and rotate them early, so you don't have one side much darker than the other. You just keep checking them, because they may be kind of light on this side and very dark on the other side. So for a while, see, now the flour has started to fry. You can kind of move them in a bit closer, and I can add another one here. So as soon as you see that they've started to cook, gently turn them over. It's better to use tongs than a spatula because you don't want to splash grease all over yourself. But yeah, that's it. You see what I mean? See when they get that really golden color in the middle, they're done on this side. You got some cheese starting to ooze out. Okay, yeah, I'm just doing a test run on this recipe for my daughters. Turn the vent off. Okay, so test run. You want a very sharp knife, and you always want to cut them on a bias. That means at an angle, and not just a shallow angle, but a deep angle. So you can start at the corner. Think about how Chili's does theirs. I normally don't cut mine this deep, but since it's for demonstration purposes, this allows you to see the entire inside of the egg roll. See how it's just moist enough? Beautiful. Okay, you can plate them at like a crisscross or some form of an angle like that. But I'll be right back and then we'll give them a taste. Let me cut. So I just wanted to come on and share my plate with y'all. It is late, so as you can see, it is mostly broccoli. There are my egg rolls. I'm gonna show you what the egg rolls look like on the screen of the other plate I made. I wanted to eat with chopsticks because I was under the Asian influence when I made these shrimp egg rolls. I've made an etouffee version before. Even though these have rice in them, they still are giving more of an Asian effect. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go in with some of this rice seasoning. This is what it looks like in the bottle. Hopefully you can see it. This is what they season rice with when they are making sushi. And you can see we have a full bottle and a bottle that's nearly gone. So this is how we are able to develop a palette for different types of flavors and flavor combinations. So since this has an Asian inspiration to it, that's what I'm going to top the egg rolls with. I'm just going to sprinkle just a bit of the Asian seasoning, the rice seasoning on top. It has sesame seeds, sugar, seaweed, salt, maltodextrin, disodium isonate, And that's it with sesame. I'm not sure what's the best angle, but let's try it. Really, really good. The shrimp flavor really comes forward. The Old Bay gives it that Cajun flair. And if I were to dip this with anything, it would be with sweet chili sauce. Just a dab. Just a dab will do you. I don't have a mic on, but I bet you heard that crunch. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, and especially if you want to see others like it, please like. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I've seen in my analytics that the majority of my viewers are new. Comment, like, and share. And I'll be sure to bring back more videos like this one. I don't just love you to pieces, I love you to crumbs. This is Kisha's Crumbs, where I share all the little granular details, tips, and tricks to help you be successful in any recipe. Until next time.